Hey, good evening, everybody. John here at Havoc Maker Studio, and hoping you guys had a great weekend. I got a whole bunch of painting in, partly on one commission, and I also got in some Marvel Crisis Protocol painting. My Magneto's done. My new Iron Fist from Trident Studios is done, and there was one other X23. Anyways, so I got a lot of painting in this weekend. I got about 20 pages written on the RPG, so it was really a productive weekend. So going into this week, we're probably going to be getting some light news updates for Atomic Mass Games, for anything from out of that studio in regards to Star Wars and Marvel Crisis Protocol, any of those various games, largely due to they just did a massive data dump during when the Ministravaganza was going to go on the previous week. So now we're sitting around waiting for, I should say 2 weeks ago. Now we're going to be in a lull until July 14th through the 16th. So really cool that we do have an official update for the Ministravaganza for 2022 when that will actually launch. Hopefully we'll see not only an updated schedule, please let it be an updated schedule, not just a rehash of what they really just showed us. That'd be very disappointing. We'll start on some predictions here in the future. But in the meantime, while we're waiting to see if they're going to give us any kernel of knowledge, any little drip feed of any information on any of the new units from X-Wing or Star Wars Legion or Marvel Crisis Protocol, we, at least here at the studio, are going to go ahead and start knocking out some predictions of what to expect for the upcoming characters that we did see for Marvel Crisis Protocol, give you a little bit more of a background of each of the characters, and take a look at what their stat cards could be. So that's going to be going on between now and when they release. So let's take a look also today at a number of things. This will be a short video, but I at least want to get one out there to keep you guys updated on the good news of the Ministravaganza launching. We also got to take a look at the Heimdall and Scourge team tactic cards. I'm going to say ick. This is just an initial impression. I've had a few hours to read it, come back, read it, come back, and I'm a little underwhelmed, feeling underwhelmed here, or whelmed. No, I'm not whelmed. Definitely, it's underwhelming. But you know what? There's somebody out there right now that these cards are key to their play style, or they're really going to enhance the game, and maybe even a bunch of you are going to be screaming, or just like, John, you need to get a little bit more into the game to understand how great these cards are. As of right now, they're kind of meh. Compared to the other cards that are out there right now, to me, they're meh. Now, both these cards are centered around the Executioner, which is a little disappointing. I mean, the whole setup is already disappointing. The fact that we've got two team tactic cards, where usually we get three team tactic cards. Nick Fury Jr. and the Shield Agents aside with their whopping 10, it's a little disappointing to see two. And I believe that we've been seeing two for all these upcoming releases. So this could be them trimming the fat of the game, maybe not necessarily to cut money, but maybe to avoid rules blow, because at some point, I've discussed this before, they're going to run out of abilities and stuff that we're going to start seeing some overlap. So we're going to see how this plans out. Anyways, let's jump into this. First off, let's take a look at Weapons of Midgard. I was hoping it was going to be something Heimdall related, but as I said, this is all Scourge related. Now, it's an unaffiliated card. It's an active card, meaning you got to use it during your the activation. Now, during Scourge, the Executioner's activation, he can spend 2 power to play this card. Scourge, the Executioner, may use the attack listed above once this activation. He has the power. It's a physical attack. It's called Destroy. It's a beam 4, 5 dice, and 0 power. So when I look back at my attempts to do Scourge, this actually is going to put one more in my favor. And I know I've already still lost that fight on my predictions of what Scourge had, but I did have a Force Blast coming out of his Divine Axe so we do have an energy attack. And I don't know if it was a beam. I'm not sure. I'm not even going to go back and flip through it, but yay, I was still roughly on point. They just made it a team tactic card. So I'll count that a little tiny victory, but not too much. All right, so we're going to move on from my hilarious attempts to justify myself. And let's take a look at Meet My Executioner. Now, this is another unaffiliated card. It is reactive, and as we predicted, it does have to do with his relationship with the Enchantress. So when another allied character, when another allied character would suffer a collision, Enchantress can spend 2 power to play this card. Now, this allows you to place an allied Scourge the Executioner within range 1 of this character suffering a collision. Scourge the Executioner suffers the collision instead. During this collision, if Scourge the Executioner would suffer damage, reduce the amount he suffers by 1. So out of the 2 cards, this is the better card. And I don't care too much about taking the damage or even reducing the amount he suffers by 1, even though that is still pretty cool because it doesn't say to a minimum of 1. So that means you could potentially negate all the damage. So, okay, that's cool. Now, actually, I'm thinking about it now in my 4th run through here. This is starting to sound good. What I do like about this power is that there is no range distance. You could have Enchantress in the far corner on one side of the board, and Scourge could be in the opposite caddy corner from her, and you could easily pop him anywhere around the board. It's kind of almost like it's really a major teleport move. I mean, it's pretty much unlimited range from wherever he is and from wherever the allied character would suffer the damage. I don't see anything else in here that suggests that they have to be within any range of her, just that he has to be placed within range 1 of the target. So that aspect is really cool. I mean, I'll be honest, if you are running Enchantress and the Executioner in the same roster, and especially if they end up in the same squad, Meet My Executioner, probably a no-brainer. But I just don't see it being used right now too often. But that ability is pretty clutch. Could be clutch. Could be really awesome. So I'll revise it. It is definitely the better of the 2. I'm still not impressed because there's a lot of conditions that got to be met. I mean, I've gone through plenty of games where there are no collisions. So I don't know on how valuable it is. It's definitely a good card, but it's definitely very limited as opposed to other better cards out there that you'll get more mileage out of. So I'm not saying don't use them. I'm not saying that they're garbage. I'm just not totally impressed. Though Meet My Executioner is still kind of cool. I like the weird kind of a simp attitude that Executioner has towards Enchantress. I don't know if it's just because that's the type. He seems to be a follower in the comics. So I don't think Enchantress has to use any of her magic on him. But that dynamic is it's pretty amusing. I don't know why. Maybe it has something to do with the way people act on Twitter. All right, so that aside, so we can wrap up this very short video, let's take a look at when these are dropping. So looking at Miniature Market, their update window just says July 2022 for Heimdall and Scourge. When I check Asmodee, it is still saying the 8th of July, one day before my birthday. Yay! So that's going to be really cool because I can go pick that up for my birthday. Now, anyways, so with that being said, if these dates are accurate, because in the past, and you guys know I've harped on Asmodee and their wonky release schedule being different from not only from what some stores are getting, but from their information differs from the FLGs and differs from what Atomic Mass Games has said, it's been all over the place. So hopefully, maybe after that big snafu that they had, at least here in the North America branch of Asmodee, they're going to be on target. Like, these dates are solid. We've got our whatever's been going on together. The global shipping stuff going on right now is good. We know that there was a slowdown in China due to the major manufacturing and shipping port, I can't pronounce it, begins with an S, was closed down for almost completely closed down for COVID about a month and a half, 2 months ago. So maybe things are now back up and moving again, and now we're on track. I think that was March. So I think we're back on track. So hopefully this date will stay solid, this July 8th date, which also means that those of you that have not delved into the Asgardian affiliation, when Heimdall and Scourge drops, you'll also be able to go to your friendly local game store and pick up the Asgardian affiliation pack, which is Thor, Valkyrie, Loki, and Hela. Those are also scheduled right now to drop on the 8th. And this is a hell of a deal because you are saving, I think, around $20. And if your local store is like Texas Toy Soldiers, I think does 10 or 15% off all the time. And I know that Board and Brew Games out there in Humboldt, Texas always does 15% off of their product. So you're really making out by buying any of these affiliation boxes, especially if you're brand new to the game or you've been knee deep in it. You've just avoided the Asgardians for reasons XYZ. Now is the good time to really dive in because you are definitely going to be saving money. And if these dates hold up, then that does mean that the Malekith will drop October 12th. Let's now keep in mind that these dates are tentative, and as ever, we have no idea. There could be a giant week-long squall in the or a hurricane or whatever in the Atlantic or in the Pacific that messes up shipping. God, I hope I didn't raise a flag that could push all this back. It's doubtful. But it's still an idea that you guys can start saving your money and go to your local stores and go ahead and pre-order. If they allow you to pre-order, go ahead and pre-order. That way you've secured your model and get it in place. All right. So anyways, let me know what you guys think about the cards for Heimdall. Well, actually, let's not even say Heimdall and Scourge. Let me know what you think about the Scourge cards. They seem worth it. And do you think we're going to be seeing just from now on most of these character packs coming with just 2 cards? Is this maybe a shift in how they do things at Atomic Mass Games for Marvel Crisis Protocol, or are these past 6 announcements? Is this just a current state of things for them? And they'll shift later on. I mean, of course, they can always change things up because it's their game. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Are you excited about July 14th through 16th for the new Ministravaganza? Do you think, this is the last thing I'll leave off on, put it in the comments below after you hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you think we might see at Ministravaganza. Do you think it's going to be more developers talking about stuff that they've already talked about here, and we'll see more gameplay and some painting videos and whatnot, and just minus the reveals? Or do you think we might get some reveals? And if we do get some reveals, what do you think they're going to be? I'm curious to know. Anyways, my name is John, the Havoc Maker Studio, and I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.